Hi, this is Stan Fitzgerald of Veterans for Trump. I'm here with Michael Copon, who is a renowned actor and producer. How are you today, Michael?
Nice to meet you, Stan, and thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great.
Thank you for coming on. And also joining us is Patrick Collis, who is the president of our Veterans for America First Virginia State Chapter and head of Spartan Investigations and Security. How are you today, Patrick?
I'm good, Stan. Thank you for having us. How are you doing, my man?
Doing okay. Thank you so much. Michael, you have an announcement you want to make about President Trump, so I'm going to give you the floor here.
Oh yes, yes. I'm proud to announce that I endorse and support President Donald Trump. I've been supporting him since the beginning, and I'm proud to announce that as well.
And Michael, you want to talk a little bit about your history and the cancel culture you faced?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was one of the first people to actually leave Hollywood in 2012. And I moved home to start my own production company to start making movies that inspired the world, that dove into the more family Christian values. Now, at first, my first features didn't allow that. A lot of the investors that were supporting my projects were had stipulations. Even in that realm, I started facing people that were saying, "Well, yeah, we'll fund your film, but no politics, no religion." And it took a while to find people even outside of Hollywood that would fund projects for me that would highlight the stories that I wanted to highlight. It wasn't until 2016, 2017, I started focusing on commercials locally until I could find an investor that would support projects that were more faith-based and family-based. And in 2020, I went full-fledged into not wanting to do films at all unless it had a spiritual tone to it, or inspiring tone to the film. And I got tired of it, and a lot of that was due to Donald Trump's movement and how he just kind of came in as a non-politician and really changed the game. He changed my mindset, and a lot of people even judged me back then. They were taking my posts. I had messages from Instagram saying they're going to delete my account because I was just posting stuff on Donald Trump. And I was like, wow, already I can notice that. And I've screenshotted those and saved those messages from Instagram saying that I'm posting things that are false. And I'm like, I literally just posted about Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump, and nothing bad, nothing negative. And then I was already getting attacked then. And because at the time I didn't know anyone. It was a new movement. My wife and I were really trying to just calm down the outward, speaking about politics, because I'm a filmmaker first, I'm a creative first. So I respected my wife at that time. We really backed down. But I started seeing more and more people being canceled. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is this cancel culture? And now where Tucker Carlson is now, it's like cancel culture was happening in Hollywood even in the beginning. I started in the business in 2000, and back then there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And if you talked about it, you were blacklisted. And the cancel culture was then, it just wasn't in the media. So people were being, stripped from their jobs and their situations back then if you said the wrong thing about a producer, or the wrong thing about a filmmaker or director or someone that had a lot of power in the business. It's just now in the media. So I don't think cancel culture is a new thing. It's just the fact that it's finally being publicized. And being in the business, I've been in for 24 years, and being a huge believer in my faith and a huge family man, I know that now more than ever, we have to stick out and choose a side, because you have the other side promoting shoes for Satan, for the devil, however when you want to say it or believe it, for negative purposes. You've got people taking pictures of their album covers with blood and devil horns, and no matter what people believe, just remember that at the end of the day, there's light and there's darkness, and there's good and there's evil. So if you're right in the middle, that's lukewarm, and you cannot be lukewarm. Even the Bible talks about, people that are lukewarm is worse than actually someone who's not either side, because you're actually confusing more people. So I just say, in today's cancel culture, you have to let people know what side you believe. and what side you stand on. And I'm proud to say I stand as a family man. I stand as a believer in God. I stand for the military. I stand for the police. I stand for all people that fight for justice. And I stand for people that fight for integrity, fight for positivity, and fight for America. Because America, we've built this as a group of people, and we have to stand together. And we have to remember that we together are stronger than the forces that are trying to come against us today. So I always say, the more and more we talk about standing together, the stronger we will be. And I do stand with everyone that I just mentioned, and anyone who has a positive, inspiring, passionate heart to be good, to be a family man, to be a family woman, to understand the difference between those two, and just to stand in positivity. That's the main thing. Love is the main thing that will conquer all this evil.
Well, thank you for speaking up and taking the side of our cause and the side of good. And we're honored to announce that you are joining Veterans for America First
Yes.
as an ambassador. So thank you for that.
Amen. Amen, brother. I love it. Like when Patrick told me, I said, of course. I mean, I've always stood with our veterans. I've always stood with our police. My stepfather was a firefighter. Any public service, and also our state and national service, I think they need more recognition than they get. And I've always stood for that cause, and I'm proud. So thank you, Stan.
Well, you're very welcome, and we appreciate you. Patrick, you have a private investigation security company, and you've done some security for Team Trump on a bus tour, and you're going to be making some news in a couple weeks with Michael. You want to tell us about the trip you have planned with our organization?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Michael and I are on the same page. I can kind of make that announcement right here.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mike? You good with that?
Sure. Yeah, let's go.
All right. Well, the first announcement is this right here. Michael's joining my team. He's going to be going through all the training to be an investigator and an executive protection officer, and he's going to help out with the internal workings of my company and help build it from there. And some of the other things that he's going to do is do some producing and some commercial making, filmmaking about the company, and with Veterans for America First, we talked about doing some filmmaking, which we can have more conversation about that later on. So he's going to take his talents for you and use them within our organizations to help us out. And he's going to come on as as not just a representative, but a staff member. It's something that I heard even from his own mother's mouth this past weekend, that the investigative private security world has always been a liking of his since he was a kid. And so this is an opportunity for him to, take a break from film acting and actually do, because he played a detective as a Blue Power Ranger in Time Force and another movie TV show you did. So instead of actually playing a detective, he's going to become a detective, and that's going to be pretty cool for us on our front. So that's the big announcement that I figured this is the best place to make it. So and we are coming to the border. We're going to come to the border with you guys. We're going to. I think it's a great opportunity. As you know, I've been there with Admiral Kubik a few years ago as his security, among other people there. And I think it's a great opportunity to show Michael the border what's going on, so he can see it for himself, and then also see how we work as a security company, because I'm always on alert. But being the president of the Virginia state chapter, and this is a VFAF sponsored event, I just feel like it's my responsibility and duty to be there and to be at all these events as much as I can. And I'd like to, bring Michael there with me so he could see it, since he's going to be an ambassador. This would be a great way for him to see exactly what we do and what we contribute to the veteran community and the first responders community, also by supporting our border patrol down there, letting them know that we have their back.
Well, you are going to be at the border, just so our viewers know, with Victor Avelia, who is a hero border agent. He was shot and left for dead in Mexico by the cartel, but you know who he is. And Congress actually changed some laws after that. And also Trump endorsed Sandy Smith will be joining us, and a large group of people. So I'm sure they're going to feel much safer with the both of you there. And we're looking forward.
I can't bring my Megazord, but I'll be there.
Yeah. But we look forward to seeing you both at the border, and thank you again, guys. We'll talk again soon. We appreciate you both.
We appreciate you too, Stan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Stan.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.